there's a little guy. He's super uber MAGA. His name is Ivan Raiklin, Raiklin. He's a retired Army lieutenant he's gained MAGA notoriety over the last few years by claiming to be President Trump's Secretary of Retribution. And he prompted a flurry of comments with a Twitter post the other day. Comments endorsing violence and vigilantism directed at 4 Democratic mayors who testified before Congress last Wednesday. Last year, he circulated a deep state target list against naming President Trump's enemies while calling for live-streamed swatting raids. A swatting raid is when someone calls the police about another person who is being swatted and says that that person is holding people at gunpoint in their home or something of a similarly violent nature involving a firearm and the discharge of a firearm. Because under those circumstances, police are going to respond in force, in full riot gear, with SWAT forces, and storm that person's home in a very violent manner. That's called swatting. And this guy, Ivan Raiklin, has called for Donald Trump's enemies, including elected members of Congress, judges, prosecutors, to be swatted, and for those swatting raids to be live streamed on the internet. Wednesday, so he reposted a video from Representative Clay Higgins of Louisiana, who is a fucking whack job, a member of the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. He delivered a fiery lecture to Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, Boston Mayor Michelle Wu, Denver Mayor Mike Johnston, New York City Mayor Eric Adams, all Democrats. It's funny how they describe Eric Adams as a Democrat and leave off the word indicted, but whatever. And so Raiklin reposted this, and those 4 mayors stood up to these members of Congress. 3 of them did anyway. Michelle Wu from Boston basically told these guys to fuck off, and it was really something to see. So Ivan Raiklin reposts this and says, if these mayors are not arrested, we the people will be compelled to reconsider our relationship with the government. I don't know what that means. But one user wrote, I suggest we organize and go to war against our government like our forefathers did. Another said, me and my homies would have been stacking bodies by now. Another wrote, a real insurrection is still possible. We had one 4 years ago. The citizens can form their own grand juries. We should start now. We, the people, have the right to form and exercise trained militias. Now is the time for these militias to be on standby awaiting deployment because a mayor said something mean to a congressman. I'm ready, Ivan. You make the call and millions will follow. Our patience are running increasingly thin. For me, I'll give it 6 months max, whatever that means. I didn't suffer for 4 years to hear your empty promises. The first arrest might be the hardest, but they get easier as you go. Let's get going. Be like a serial killer. Become a serial arrester. Another one closed out the comments by saying, I miss lynch mobs. Okay. I fucking hate these people.